Imagine you're getting ready for a meeting, a date, or just stepping out to buy groceries. You check your reflection, fix your hair, adjust your clothes, maybe even smile at yourself. Harmless, natural, routine, or is it something more? Welcome back to the Personal Lens, where we dive deep into how the personal is always political. I'm your host, and today we are peeling that glossy surface of what we call femininity. And we are looking at it not as who we are, but as something we perform. Today we are asking, what if femininity isn't natural? What if it's carefully rehearsed, socially demanded performance? In 1990, feminist theorist Judith Butler published Gender Trouble and absolutely shook the way we thought about gender. Butler argued, gender isn't something we are, it's something we do. In her words, there is no gender identity behind the expressions of gender. Identity is performatively constituted by the very expressions that are said to be its results. What this means is there is no such thing as an essential woman. Rather, we become women by repeatedly doing things that are associated with being feminine, wearing makeup, speaking gently, nurturing others, smiling even when uncomfortable. Think of a theatre play. The actors rehearse roles, wear costumes, speak lines they didn't write. They perform characters. Similarly, Butler suggests we all perform gender through clothes, gestures, voice, posture, and emotions. And here's the kicker. We are not just performing for ourselves, we are performing for society's approval. Applause if you do it right, criticism if you mess up. Now, we've always heard these phrases being told. Girls don't sit like that. Smile more, you look angry. You should wear something more feminine for the event. Congratulations, you've just been handed a script. Let's talk clothes. We often hear, dress however you want, but society quietly whispers a very detailed dress code for women. Makeup, check. Smooth legs, check. Fitted clothes, but not too revealing. High heels, but don't look like you're trying too hard. As Sandra Bartky said, repeat, as Sandra Bartky said, the female body is trained to become an ornamented surface. Fashion isn't just choice, it's discipline. Now for a relatable story. How we almost always pack backup flats because heels do look good but feel like medieval torture devices. Same. Or if you've hesitated before wearing bright lipstick thinking, is this too much? Or if you've chosen to skip sleeveless tops because of some random person's comments. These aren't random doubts, they're rehearsals in the performance of femininity. Language is one of the most powerful gendered performances. Robin Lakoff pointed out how women's language is often mitigated, softened, hedged, made polite to avoid seeming aggressive. It's not genetics, it's social conditioning. Women are conditioned to soften their speech. We are taught to smile while speaking to avoid confrontation, to be more agreeable. And it's important to mention here that these aren't biological traits, they are learned survival strategies, language shaped by power. Watch a reality show. Notice how often women are called bossy, shrill, or too much for speaking the same way that men do. In Assamese homes too, assertive women are often labeled as besijana, meaning someone who knows too much, which is nothing but just a polite way of saying you are stepping out of line. Everyday example here. When you draft an email at work, do you ever delete strong words like I need and replace them with would it be possible to? So this is nothing but performance, gendered performance. Have you ever been told, sit properly, don't laugh too loud, don't take up too much space? Iris Marion Young wrote that girls are taught to restrict their movements, to sit with crossed legs, protect their bodies, minimize space. Meanwhile, boys in juxtaposition are encouraged to sprawl to own space. Ever been on a bus in Guwahati? Left seats are reserved for women. But if you sit on the unreserved side, you might get stares, judgment, or even comments. Women subtly and overtly are pushed to contain themselves, to stick to their corner, to be grateful for the small slice of space offered. Quick reflection here. Think about how often you apologize in public for existing, for bumping someone, for speaking up, for walking confidently. That's performance. Now, let's not forget that the feminine ideal isn't the same for every woman. Kimberly Crenshaw introduced the idea of intersectionality, that gender, race, class, caste, and religion all intersect. For example, a fair skinned woman in an ad is called elegant. A dark skinned woman doing the same pose might be labeled loud or unrefined. And India's obsession with fairness creams is, of course, very much a part of this too. And it's important to understand that these ads for skin lightening products reinforce beauty hierarchies. So, when performing femininity, women don't have equal stages or equal applause. But here's the good news. We are seeing more rebellion. Women standing up for themselves, women speaking up, women choosing not to marry, women taking up space physically, vocally, emotionally. But even rebellion is a performance. It challenges norms, but it's still a dialogue with society. Bell Hooks reminds us feminism is for everybody. Unlearning the performance of femininity doesn't mean abandoning beauty, speech, or fashion. It means choosing them consciously, not compulsively. Quick personal question for listeners. Think about the last time you dressed up. Was it for you, for fun, for fear of judgment, or for the thrill of rebellion? Femininity, like any performance, can be artful, expressive, powerful. But when it's compulsory, when it demands conformity, it becomes a cage dressed in glitter. By recognizing femininity as a performance and not as a natural destiny, we can start rewriting that script. We can choose when, how, and whether we want to play the part. Understanding femininity as performance is not about blaming women for conforming. It's about naming the system that makes conformity feel like safety. It's about realizing that even rebellion, shaving your head, wearing boots, refusing to smile, is its own kind of performance, one that pushes against the norm. Feminism is for everybody, but perhaps unlearning the performance of femininity must begin with listening to our own discomfort, our compromises, our quiet acts of rebellion. If today's episode resonated with you, share it with somebody who's ready to break the script. Tag us at the personal lens and tell us what's one feminine expectation you're tired of performing. What's one rule you want to challenge? And until next time, stay curious, stay critical, stay engaged, and keep looking through the personal lens.